Let's take a ride. I'll show you how. I'll show you how. I'll show you how. I'll show you how. We're gonna make it happen. Let's take a ride and spend the day in the countryside.
Welcome, everyone, to Season 7, Episode 1, because we love new seasons, of Kicks at the Castle. It's a podcast by three sneakerheads dedicated to that Disney lifestyle. As Walt would say to all who listen to this happy podcast, welcome. My name is John. I'll be your host, and I'm joined, as always, by my man, Matt.
Yo, we're back, everyone.
And Ruby.
Hi.
And this week, we are joined once again by regular contributor / new host / whichever, Ken.
Howdy, everybody. Good to see you all again. Now, the last episode I was in, was that the end of the last season?
It was I think it was a second to last episode.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't.
There's
in the
one in
last
between.
episode. Okay.
One in
okay.
between.
Well, I'm glad to be back. Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
You won't hear back from us until episode 200. So we have a great show planned for everyone this week. We're going to catch up with some news items. We've got our regular Fit of the Week feature. This week in World versus Land, we are going to talk about the worst weights. We are going to get up with trips on property. Hopefully, Ruby's got a plant-based option of the week for us. But first, as always, let's jump into pickups.
Pick it up, groove. Baby girl, watch how you move. I got them vents on my shoes.
Ken, I'm starting with you because I know that the shelf behind you is somewhat empty. So I know you probably have a lot, but it maybe
Yeah. I've pulled back a bit just because obviously I'm in the process of moving, so it wouldn't make much sense to buy a bunch of crap and then have to haul it back up. I did hit on the Union Jordan 1s, the woven ones, which I'm stoked about. I know that's a pretty contrasting pair of people's opinions because they're kind of weird, but that's kind of my thing. So I'm really excited to get those in. I did see that they shipped and should be here on Tuesday of next week. So I'm excited to kind of get those and throw them on.
I finally got shipping notification on that as well.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I saw a lot of people are waiting. I saw Rubies are coming in tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Lucky. Yeah, they were super. I almost doubled up on that site, but I didn't want to pay the extra shipping. Their shipping was pretty expensive, but Nike's is obviously free. But I may have doubled up, and I say may because my boy Sean in Louisiana, shout out to you, said he would likely give me his pair, but I feel like he's faltering a bit. I'm not so sure that he's going to let me have them. So
He wants to see him in hand first.
he does, and
So
I'm
wait,
worried
did
he's
he-
going to see him.
Was it an assist at first?
No,
Or he was
just-
buying
he
it for
got
himself
'em.
at first?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
he wanted to see him in hand and take photos as he does.
All right.
He's like, oh yeah, you can totally have him after I'm done taking photos. But I think when he gets him in hand, he's going to be wavering a bit. So we'll see how he goes. Beyond that, no real other pickups as far as I can remember. I did snag some. I went to Springs last trip to Springs for quite a while. Picked up some sweatshirts from the Vault collection, like the regular standing Mickey with like the sort of retro sweatshirt stitching, which was pretty nice. So got those. Got my kid a Nuimo, his first Nuimo, which is adorable.
Oh, okay.
Which character?
He got Donald, which is really cute. And then he picked up roller skates. They had a deal, which I got messed up about, but they had a deal for like 3 accessories for $7 each. So you have to buy 3. So we picked out 3 and we took them to the register. Didn't work, the deal. I didn't notice till after the fact because he picked up one of the Pride shirts, like a Pride jersey, and that was on its own $21.99, which is the exact same cost as the Nuimo. And I didn't realize until after the fact. I checked out and walked outside, and then the lines were like insane. So I was like, I'm not going back in there. So I got a bit.
Why did I spend $100?
Yeah, like it came out to way more than I thought, and I was like, wait a minute. So that was pretty rough, but he loves it. So who am I to fuss too much? But yeah, I think that's it. I haven't been getting much, but after I get settled in my new place, I'll get back on it.
Nice. Well, Matt, how about you? What have you been buying?
It's been pretty slow for me, to be honest. I took an L on the Unions. I took an L on the Supreme Dunks today.
Oh yeah.
It's been a while since
Forgot
I
about
got
those.
from Supreme. And they switched to Shopify, and Supreme on Shopify is terrible because bots eat up Shopify.
Yeah, I would say I carted really easy, and then it just sat, and then it went out of stock.
Yeah, it's a lot different now. Yeah, It's rough out here, but I haven't shown this yet, but it's the peace hat that I've always been talking about. But I want to show this because what the heck is this?
Ooh,
That's
Why?
it's an accessory.
Your corn dog nugs probably come with a tag that long. Everything for
Why?
Disney's like that.
It's like, are we at CVS or
No,
what the heck is this?
it's just like the ears, isn't it, Ruby?
Yeah, I don't understand it at all. It's the worst.
Honestly, I think this is gonna have to go to a different home because it does not. I don't like how it fits me. I feel like it's like too big right
It looks
here.
good.
I don't know. Every time I look at it,
I like
I
it.
think I might get rid of
Text,
I'll
It
take
looks-
it.
text me, Matt. We'll talk about it.
it. All right.
Put it on his tab.
Don't worry. I'll curve that brim. So
There you go.
That's all I got.
that's all you got. All right. Well, I'm gonna go because I know Ruby is gonna take the next hour and a half. So I did go to Mickey's Not So Scary when I was in Disney World, and I got the Nightmare popcorn bucket. I hear we're getting them out here at Land, so I'm not sure when they're gonna drop, but I got mine early. It's kind of
Now,
fun.
does popcorn go in it?
Yeah, it's popcorn. The
Oh, it just
popcorn
holds the
fits
pocket.
right there. Yeah, it
Okay.
holds the popcorn thing. It does light up. Can't see it, but it glows red. Is that
Oh,
glowing?
yeah. Yeah.
And then as the wheels run, the mayor's face turns. Trying to get it so you can see it.
That's pretty rad.
That's
Ooh.
cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like that.
I like Guardians, as you guys probably know, so I had to get the Skyliner Guardians bucket that goes there. I didn't buy a lot of merch. I did buy two things. This is a crew neck that I saw last time I was there. It's Tron, and I really kind of liked it. It's vintagey looking, so I picked that up. It's always nice to have stuff that people in California don't have. And since I am an AP, I picked up the AP Mickey's Not So Scary shirt.
Does that glow in the dark?
I believe it does. I think it had a sticker inside of it that said that. I haven't worn it out yet, but I believe it does glow in the dark. And then these came in the day before I left for World, so I got the black toes. I took those with me. And these came in while I was gone, thanks to Ken. Ken, you're the one that posted that sale, right? Lapstone and Hammer.
Oh, yeah. It was like a 30% off or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So got these for like, well, I think it was 20. I think I got them for 160.
20.
So
Okay. Yeah.
getting getting a pair of Jordans on sale 3 days after they drop, that's hard to beat. Actually, because I was going to pass on that pair, and I really liked them. I just didn't want to spend the money, and I'm like, well, it's amazing what 20% will do, right?
I gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right.
is
So the floor is clean. Ruby,
Okay. I'm gonna do like a rapid round with my sneakers. So I kind of mentioned these before. These are the Montreal Bagel Dunks. Had to have them. Every Jewish girl should own a pair of bagel dunks. It should be like part of our uniform. So definitely had to have those. Let's see. Then shout out to Super Duper Kyle. Apparently there were enough good sneaker releases that he needed to offload one of his millions of extra pair of these Easy Pirate Blacks, which I love. I did not cop. He's the same size as me. So I was holding on to that. He might want to sell one of his extra pairs, and he did. So
that's
lucky
right.
me.
You both wear youth, right? That's right.
Okay. He also sold me the Cinder foam runners, which is great. I only have the black ones, and I love my foam runners, so love having these now too.
Wait, hold on. Were those Pirate Blacks dead stock or did he wear those?
No, dead stock. He got 3 pairs.
I was gonna say after seeing those pictures that he posted of his feet, I probably would
would
not buy
never.
anything that he would. wear.
No, I would
Damn.
never. No
Damn.
disrespect, Kyle. I love you, but I would never. I blame Matt for these. My Travis Scott
Ooh.
Phantoms. So
Oh, the
Well,
True Religions.
I've been rocking the.
I did not know they came with these bandanas. That's rad.
Oh
I
yeah.
love bandanas. I haven't laced them yet. I haven't worn them. I haven't done anything. And last but not least, for my sneaker stuff, hey, love these.
Oh,
Love
nice.
the freaking box. Amazing. My United Kicks was so excited to order these. And in person, I love them even more than what the photos showed. The textures. This is like, take some shrooms, feel your shoes. You're going to be feeling really great about this pair of shoes. It's awesome. I love them, Ken. Thank you. They are beautiful. And I always love that my little tiny size, which I don't think I have small feet, but I do think whenever you take a picture of them, they always look really small and they make my feet look small, which I'm not against. So love them. Love the sole. It's just all around fantastic shoe.
Thank
So-
you.
Those are my kick pickups. And
It's
then
actually funny you said that. because I totally forgot to pull these out because I didn't remember.
Wow, what a hater.
Wow.
I had a
The
special
savagery.
delivery. And
See, he's
totally
savage when
forgot.
you're here and when you're not. He doesn't
I
just
know. He's consistent. That's what you
Yes.
want. You want
I
consistency.
know. I'm a
exactly.
slacker.
Was that a
You know
hand
what the-
delivery in Magic Kingdom?
That was a hand delivery in Magic Kingdom.
That's quick
Was
ship.
security looking at you weird when you were walking with just shoebox?
I had a Disney bag. I put everything in a Disney bag, and then I brought that through, and they were cool with it.
It's different out there, right? Because you walk through the magnometers and they don't search your bags. Disneyland, you got a bag, they want to look inside of it.
They still
Yeah.
do bag
Oh, yeah.
search like for every.
yeah.
absolutely every
Oh, yeah.
time.
Because it's funny because I was
bringing people shoes to Disney's is one of my least favorite things to do
Yeah.
because they want to pull the shoes out and look inside of them as well.
like look in the box and everything.
Mhm.
yeah,
yeah.
they
Oh,
took
man.
make sure that you didn't put something inside of them.
That's
Yeah.
awkward.
It's going for sure.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, Ruby, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You just you jogged my horrible memory.
No problem. So next is my Disney stuff, which I'm really excited about. I don't even know where to start. I'll start with a simple pin. I got a chance to go to 1901 in DCA, which is the like Club 33 equivalent lounge over there. So I got like a cool little 1901 pin. This part actually flips, so it could be the white or the black sign. Just since John decided to flex, I'll do even more of a little.
No, that's what you're doing. You're
flex.
flexing.
The person that I went with is really awesome, and he was able to get us these pins as well, which only a member
Oh,
could
those
buy.
are so cool.
Bought them and then gave them to us. So these are like the chairs that they have in there. They have like a Walt chair, and yeah, it's
Lillian.
just really awesome. So these pins are really cool. I'm very excited about that.
Did you and Luigi get the pictures in the chairs? Did you guys?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, loved it. I felt very like excited to do that.
Did you
Then
also throw in a referral?
I would. I still need to figure that part out. I'm still working on that. but
You're not
I
a
would
member
like
yet?
to know. Yeah. So then we did go over to 33, and I know I said I wasn't gonna buy another
Regular
Magic
Park Day.
band, but I had to because they have a 33 Magic band, and I've been wanting a black Magic band anyways. So I was like, okay, I guess I got to get my second Magic band, even though I said I wouldn't do that. Luigi loves a good homemade cocktail. So we got a nice like 33. This is like a pretty heavy whiskey glass. Super nice.
I'm getting
and-
one of those when I go.
Yeah. It's very nice, very heavy. Last time I went, I think I shared, I got like this Pluto plush, and he had like embroidery in his foot of 33. Well, this time they have like Classic Mini, and I freaking love Classic Mini. So I had to get her so that she can hang out with Pluto. So I was very excited about that. And then last but not least, in the lounge, if you order a specific drink, it comes in a tiki mug. So you can only get this mug if you order this drink, but it's a Walt tiki
Oh,
mug.
man.
Oh,
That's sick.
And it's pretty rad. On the back, it says 33. He's kind of creepy, so I'm really digging it. Like,
I like
just
it.
freaky. But yeah, I love it. So stoked to have this. Right before Pee Wee passed, I had just actually bought like a Pee Wee tiki mug, and I was talking to Phil about it, and I was like, oh, you got to order this mug. And he's like, I already ordered it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we both ordered this mug, and then Pee Wee passed, sad, rest in peace. And then I went to Club 33, and they had this tiki mug, and I'm like, great, now I'm like a tiki mug collector apparently. So like, apparently I have a new collection. I'll be
Well,
getting
good luck with the Trader Sam's ones because I know that there's usually
yeah.
a 2-hour line at the one at Disneyland every time they
Dude.
drop a new one.
When I went the day of the Haunted Mansion one dropped, the line was so insane. I was like beside myself. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, there's no way I'd ever wait in that line. Like, it was insane. But
Yeah.
that is all I got.
Nice. Well, let's jump into Newsies.
Newsies.
And of course, because they love Disneyland the most, Disneyland Haunted Mansion expansion coming soon, 2024. Did you guys see what they're proposing?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
I think, I mean, obviously, Fast Pass distribution doesn't need to be around anymore, and it feels like that's mostly what they're doing, right? At the exit of Haunted Mansion, there on the left, that was the Splash Mountain Fast Pass distribution. So they're going to get rid of the cart and actually make a full gift shop there. I guess it's a carriage house, but then they're going to expand our queue and make it more interactive over where the Haunted Mansion Fast Pass was. So I mean, that's I tell you what, our queue is one of the things that I don't like as well as the one in Orlando. So it's nice they're going to do an upgrade, and hopefully they can do some more canopy because our queue is pretty scorching hot as well, right, Ruby?
I mean, it could be just because it's the mock-up, but that courtyard or whatever that thing is does not look very haunted. It's very bright.
You know, I'm trying to figure it out because it looks like that they're doing something like that center area has a fountain and it kind of connects what was the French Market and the Haunted Mansion, which is now going to be Tiana's place. So it feels like I wonder if that courtyard as we know it is going to be no more, and there'll be maybe Tiana's place is going to expand into part of it, and then it'll become are they going to move the fences out off of the mansion, or I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the New Orleans Square land is that's one of my favorite parts of Disneyland, so I'm glad they're expanding it. I think it's going to be nice to have the merch closer to the ride. Obviously that'll free up that other store for something else.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like that, like, it needs that revamp, especially if they're doing all the stuff for Tiana. They might as well just go in and like really make the space nice and new and exciting. And I think incorporating Haunted Mansion to it, it's good luck. Because I agree, Matt, it doesn't look so like spooky, but I think when you're like thinking about just New Orleans in general, like it's gonna have that vibe. And then I think as it transitions from day to night, like I feel like you'll get the like bleed over of the Haunted Mansion spooky vibes a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that, I mean, we all know that we spent a lot of money there, and it's just nice to see them reinvesting in the park, even in something that's not broken or outdated. I mean, they didn't need to do this. They're just doing it to enhance the area, and I think it's nice to see reinvestment. Ken doesn't care because he's not coming out here.
I just wish I had an opinion on Disneyland. I don't even know what area you're talking about. I can't relate in the slightest, but I'm here for it. I love upgrades. I love them reinvesting, but I don't know.
You need to make a
Come
trip
visit
out.
us.
I want to. I need to. I just gotta figure out the timing. That's all. One day.
Okay, I accept one day.
One day. One day. It's on the list.
It's on the list. 100%.
All right. Well, opening today, San Francisco.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing here? Why are you not?
I was gonna say I can't believe Ruby didn't take PTO today.
I would have if I didn't already take PTO this last weekend for Drake, and I'm taking off tomorrow for Beyonce, so I already have a really short week.
The homie Frankie the Shorty is there right now.
I saw.
Yeah.
That's
That dude he's literally
Baymax stan.
Baymax like #1 fan.
Yeah,
For sure.
That's
awesome.
Miguel's there today too.
To be there.
Yeah, I want to be there
I
too.
want a Baymax bread.
You guys want to hear a dark joke?
Yeah.
Of course.
If you burn the Baymax bread like long enough, it could be a Tadashi meal.
Oh, because that's his brother in the building. Wow.
Yeah.
That was dark.
Sad.
That was dark.
You guys said you wanted to hear a dark joke.
I haven't seen the
My
movie.
friend
so
said
I
that
don't-
the other
don't know
day. I
what
was
that
like,
I
is.
damn.
didn't know where it was going. I would have declined.
All right, let's jump into some sneaker news. This is just for Ken. The New Balance 2002R dressed in vintage leather.
Yes.
You like them? I hate them.
They don't look like they're gonna breathe.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't go with those. The
So
green
do they-
looks nice.
Do they need a pack then? I mean, if they're all leather, I mean,
No, and that's the thing. The pack is clearly reminiscent of like the same colors they have with other materials. But that leather, no, there's no way those would breathe either.
Yeah,
There's no
maybe
holes
a
in the toe bars.
suede. Because the suede or the nubuck in the back look really nice, but the leather is not.
They've had those exact same colors with like suede and mesh, for sure, which would be superior to this all leather pair. So no, I'm not in for that. That's a pass for me.
all right. Well, how about the undefeated by Converse weapon?
I mean, I
You're
think
a
those
high
are
top
pretty
guy,
clean.
right?
I'm a high top guy. I think they're super clean. The green hits, like that olive green, is pretty rad. I've never once owned a pair of these. I mean, they look nice. I mean, I'd probably snag them.
I kind of like the green
discount.
pair too.
Yeah, like if those went 20% off, you'd probably catch me grabbing those. I'd wear that. Yeah.
How about you, Ruby? No,
No, not for me. I do like the green though. If I liked the silhouette,
they go with your hair.
yeah, but I'm not. No, this model would not look good on me. I'm too short for that model, and I can tell the way that it cuts would just not be a good look. But I like the green. I think more shoes should just use that color green in general.
Yeah,
Maybe a
it's quite
low
nice.
top,
Yeah.
Ooh,
but
Consider a low.
high top is
Now
a
you're
no for
talking.
me, dog.
Anyway, all right, well, let's jump into fit of the week.
Call this fit held back because this fit's stupid. Like dumb.
Every week we pick a post where we were tagged or the hashtag Kicks at the Castle was used. And this week it is the Hype Disney. The homie Carl was out at Adventures Campus. I think he's got the Wash Black Jordan 1s. Anyway, nice to see him out there. I know he's got a new job driving cars on Main Street. I have not seen him doing that yet, but looking forward to hitching a ride from him one of these days when I see him on Main Street.
I love it when I see him.
We should probably all get in the car together.
Oh,
Yes!
we should all mob in a car on that'd be fun.
That would be the best.
Anyway, Carl, appreciate the tag. If you would like to be featured, use the hashtag Kicks at the Castle with your Disney Fit picks in park or not. And now it is time for Land versus World.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Each week we pick an aspect or a landmark from Walt Disney World or Disneyland Resort. We decide which park has it better. And this actually came from the Discord where we were talking about some of the queues, and Adrian came up with what is the worst queue on each coast at max weight. So, thinking, I'm sure this is going to be summertime. I think we were talking about Peter Pan being ridiculous hot because there is no airflow in Fantasyland. So, because that section, the Peter Pan is directly across from the Snow White ride, so you don't get any breeze in that part. Like whereas Tomorrowland, you get some air flowing through there. I would submit at Disney World on a 100-degree day with max humidity. I was so grateful I had a lightning lane for Space Mountain because that tunnel had some stank. It had some funk and some stank.
No.
Just walking past everybody was. That is a trapped tunnel with no airflow. It was not
Drop
good.
Dust City, that's what it is.
It's so small in there. It's so tight. Like even in the lightning, I mean, like the standby line, unto itself is just a single file line, and then the other line, obviously, you can kind of bust through there with the lightning lane, but it's so small, so small. It's claustrophobic.
It wasn't farts. It was bo. It was
like sweat.
It was bo.
Gross.
Sounds like my nightmare.
It was so bad. So, I mean, Ruby, what do you think? I'm gonna share one with you out here. And doing the regular queue, Toy Story, the Midway Mania, that icebox room, it doesn't even matter. It is uncomfortably cold in there, even on a hot day. Like I don't know what's wrong with the AC, but that
so whack.
that room,
That's probably where the AC unit is. Like,
I don't
it's,
know.
It's
where it first
freezing in
blows.
there, and it's cold in the winter. It's cold in the summer.
Boys.
It's rough.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, I love Lightning Lane specifically for that ride because you avoid that freaking ice box because it's so uncomfortable. The entire period that you're in that box. First of all, it's like such a boring box. Like at least decorate it so I can be distracted by how
because it's up and
cold
back
I am.
twice.
Yeah. It's the worst. I hate it. That's definitely in DCA. That would be my least favorite because it's just so uncomfortable. Like why is it like this? I don't understand.
I would rather wait in the Guardians queue, which is all outside, even on a hot day.
Same. I'd rather wait. So at least I don't know. It's just uncomfortably cold in that box. I think you're right, Matt. Like the AC unit is in there or something because it's awful. But also I agree with you, Fantasyland. Like those lines on a hot day, they're so squished, and for whatever reason, everyone in those lines loves to be on your ass. And I'm just like, it's already so tight here. Like you standing literally touching me does not make any of this go any faster. I don't understand why you're doing this.
Or the person on the other side of the ropes sitting on the rope with the backpack on. So the backpack is in your space.
Then the backpack takes up literally half the line because they're so narrow already. You're just like, I can't even move through here because your backpack is now in line.
I know. I push past. I just blow past them. So I also have a nomination for Hollywood Studios. Maybe you guys can agree, but your Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway queue is really bad if you're in standby.
With in general, like the outside portion is kind of
janky. If it's max weight, so say it's
so you're outside,
you're outside because it's pretty hot.
That outside portion is pretty bad,
and even the inside is pretty weak too. I mean, there's nothing
I kind of like what they did with the inside because obviously it's supposed to be like Chinese theater, and they put the little posters up and stuff, and they kind of rotate. It's kind of cute. I like what they did with it. You do get to the point where you like go down the ramp, and that seems a little odd how they did that, but the outside portion is awful.
Yeah, the inside part's cute, but the outside it's like it feels like the bulk of that queue is outside.
It feels like an afterthought, and they probably didn't need to do that at all when it was Great Movie Ride, because there was never a wait for Great Movie Ride, right? So they probably just had to kind of like throw that together after the fact, and it kind of shows, and they put a few umbrellas there or whatever, but it's rough.
Me and Emily watched a ride through video of Great Movie Ride, and
Bring it back.
Cried, man. Almost cried.
See, the thing is, like,
it so much.
I like that ride, but towards the end, it was so poorly kept up with that like half the stuff didn't work. It just looked really bad at that point, and it kind of needed a refresh. It'd be nice if they refreshed it and it did something different with that, but I think they did pretty good with Mickey and Minnie. Like, it's a pretty entertaining ride in general.
And that's one where you need to do the Disneyland version. The ride isn't wholly unique, but the queue is completely different. And
oh, really?
I will say I've only done standby one time on that ride, and the queue is really neat. The standby queue. I'm bougie like Ruby. I don't mind paying for a lightning lane when I can. All right, Matt. What's the worst queue out there?
For me, okay, so I do not do well with heat. So for me at Disney World, I'm gonna have to throw in Big Thunder Mountain, because it is mostly all outside. And then once you're inside, there's like no fans or anything. It is still freaking hot. Also, I mean, this one's AC, but Soarin', that queue is freaking boring. There's literally nothing to look at.
They do like the little like game on the wall, but like,
oh yeah, but it's like
nobody's playing it. Like,
yeah, like the games in, I mean, if you get past the smells, but the games in Space Mountain are actually pretty fun. Like those, like you can actually like play. Have you guys not played Disney before? Because I haven't.
I don't even have it on my phone. I know there's the thing in Peter Pan's queue where you can, like, if you do something, there's a lantern and it's opaque, and like it'll clear up and you can see Tinkerbell inside the lantern. I've seen people do it before, and I've always said, oh, that'd be cool to do that, but I've never wanted to put in the work.
Yeah, I guess I just go through Lightning Lane anyways. Like I haven't really tried, but that's probably why they don't put anything in the queues anymore, because everyone's play Disney, or all the kids are at least. And I guess at Disneyland, I mean, I'm just gonna go with you guys because you guys always talk about it, but Peter Pan is probably the worst.
It's just so, and the thing is, not even the longest wait. Like I would never get in line if it said it was 45 minutes. You know, I mean, but you know, like 30, a 30-minute wait in that line feels a lot longer. It really does.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is because it's so crunched. And there's no air, but yeah, I was trying to think of one, like, here's another queue I've never actually waited in. I've never been in the Flight Passage. I've never waited for that ride. Well, I always pay for it. I'd rather.
That's a good queue though. Like,
is it a good queue? Because that's the thing, I've never been in it.
It is a pretty cool queue, yes.
Yeah,
because you don't see any of the like the lab and stuff like that.
There's a lot to look at. They make, because I think they knew it was always going to be a long queue, so they kind of filled it with a bunch of stuff that you could see, and a lot of it's indoors, so you don't have to wait out in the blistering heat for that. So I think that's pretty well done queue.
And I was gonna say, like, I know that the safari line sometimes gets long, but it feels like at least it's shaded, and they do have fans blowing everywhere.
Yes, yeah.
So,
and they have some wild animals throughout too. Like some they have like wild birds in some of the parts too, so you can see stuff. And then sometimes you cross over the bridge, you can see the trucks down below too, which is kind of a nice feature that you can kind of just see while you're waiting. They have the TVs with the messages on them and all that kind of stuff, so you stay well distracted, I think.
Yeah. So what's the worst wait at Epcot?
Ooh, Epcot. Ratatouille. That's usually the longest.
See, I've never waited.
I've never waited in that.
So we waited when it first opened, and that was just for AP previews, and it was still a long line. But the outside queue for that is there's a lot of wraparound, and when you get to the outside portion, they have like little itty bitty fans up there, but it's still brutal and it's very tight. Once you get inside, it's quite nice because it's all themed, and they've got the chef guy whose name I'm blanking on right now. Gusto, is that it? I was thinking like Gaston in my head. Gaston the chef. But yeah, they have all the stuff inside, and it's kind of, very well themed. But when you're outside, that's pretty rough.
I'm gonna stick with Soarin'.
See, that's a ride I have no problem skipping Soarin'. My wife won't ride it, so I got to go solo, and it just we have it at home, and the only difference is the end scene. So what's the I don't really feel like it's a must do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good discussion. Now let's catch up with our recent trips on property with Trips and Drips. Ken, has the farewell tour begun? What's the plan? Are you gonna be heavy in the parks before you leave, or?
I don't think we have the time. I mean, we're just like trying to get everything packed up. But so in that, we have a few things that we're going to try to do before we leave. So we went to Springs last night. That was like our farewell Springs. We went to Boathouse, which is probably our favorite restaurant there. And then, hit up the Walt Disney store and a few other places. So I think that was our farewell to Springs. And then I think the only two parks that were our must-dos are Magic Kingdom, obviously, and see the fireworks, and then Epcot. We're leaving the other two out, not for any particular reason, but like Animal Kingdom. I guess we don't have to see it, but
It's hot.
it's hot. It's rough.
It's the hottest park.
Yeah, and so I don't know. We're kind of like blanking on the other two, but we're definitely gonna do Magic Kingdom and Epcot probably sometime this weekend or next week, before we depart.
Well, I know James would agree with you on skipping studios. It's not worth doing.
I'm just gonna go stay at a resort, actually. So
You're not going to either park. You're just gonna go.
just go straight to the resort. Don't need to see them.
You hitting up the other park? I know you have a pass there too.
You know what's funny too is I think my wife just texted me. Do you want to try to go to uni? So we might be doing that tonight. We'll see. John with the eye roll. I'm telling you, don't knock it, man. Universal's pretty rad. You might cut this.
It is
out of
rad. I mean,
You know
it
what?
is pretty rad in Hollywood too, but
No,
like
not
it.
as like it's not worth going to LA to go there. Like if you're already in LA doing other stuff, then yeah, you should go. But like I feel like it's worth going when you go to Orlando. Like if you go to Orlando and you have enough time, it's worth going to.
So from my house, it's 90-minute drive to Disneyland. It's at least another hour
Mhm.
to get to the studio. So now you're talking about 5 hours in the car.
Nope.
I'm
That's too
not
much.
doing that.
Don't
every
do
day. I'm gonna have to spend the night. So, and I just
But
don't.
you should one of these millions of times that you go to Orlando, you should go there because
I have no connection to Harry Potter. I don't know anything about it.
there's other stuff than Harry
do you
Potter.
have
Yeah.
any connection
There's
to
Jurassic
movies?
Park. There's King Kong.
There's King
There's
Kong.
Dr.
Huh?
Seuss.
I do want to go at Christmas. I want to go see Whoville at Christmas time. That is
That's
on
the
my.
best.
I would like to see that.
and there's
but-
the OG Avengers campaign.
Oh God.
I mean, part of it is not to hate on it, but it's like I don't need any other thing. Like people like, oh, why don't you collect Funko Pops? Because I don't need 1,000 because that's what I'll have because I get into things and so I don't need another hobby. I don't know what I don't know what I'm missing at Universal, and I'll just continue missing it. Because if like I said, now I got to plan an extra. I already feel like a 6-night. What I did 6 park days. I already felt like that was a short trip. In my head, a 6 park day trip to Disney is short, and now I got to go to Universal. I mean,
you were here for 37 days.
and I didn't
Yeah.
go
At
there.
one point.
Yeah, what the hell? That's wild. That's like insane behavior.
That's a legendary. That's a legendary trip.
That was pretty great. And my wife's talking about wanting to do it again, so don't be shocked. We have to go to Europe before we do that again, though. I've put my foot down. I want to go. I want to go to.
Disneyland Paris?
Oh no, we're gonna go between France and England. She wants to do tea at Highclere Castle, and I want to go to if she wants to go to Disney too if we're there. So we'll hit it up. All right, so Ken thinks that Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios is disposable. Got that. All right.
I did not say it, so
Okay. So all right, Matt, what about you? You've been in the parks? It's been a few weeks.
It has been a few weeks, and I've been there quite often.
I saw you
Couple
days ago.
times, yeah, a couple times. Was meeting up with Mr. Birdman here. Met up. Yeah, first day was at Epcot. Met up with him, family, and also not one but 2 Griffins.
Wow.
I actually unds the Union 4s, the Black Noir. Those things freaking hurt.
That was an NDS day.
That was on DS. Well, it was like I think I unds them like the day before, but that was the first time I wore them to the parks.
The Union Force? They hurt?
Yeah.
Yes. The like I didn't like I know how like people say like Union Force hurt. I didn't believe that until I wore these. I don't know if it's the materials on them, but they freaking hurt.
I wear them to the park a lot, actually.
You weren't even there that long. You were only there like 2 hours.
Dude.
All he could handle. He had to leave.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't
It was
really
hot.
go
It was
on any
hot that
rides.
day.
It was hot
It
that
was
day.
hot that day.
But yeah, we didn't really go on any rides. We just like talked and caught up.
We were doing the hide and squeak,
That's what it was. Yes. And then
and I was
I
trying
did
to
go
drink around
back.
the world, and you guys weren't helping.
well, I don't drink, so
I was at the bar in Germany and asked everybody if they wanted anything to drink, and it was on me, and I couldn't get any takers. That's
hey,
That's-
if I was still drinking, I definitely would take it up on the offer. Because that what is it? The Schaffhofer, the grapefruit beer, is like
we got the grapefruit beer. I
That-
got the grapefruit beer.
but anyways, yeah. So I went another time with Frankie, who's in Disneyland right now. But yeah, we checked out Food and Wine. That was when I filmed some content for Disney Hype Feast. Yes, the Disney Hype Feast is back.
I love it.
And we did Emil's Fromage Montage. For those who don't know, it's basically like a challenge that's on the back of the passport, this thing right here. Basically they have like a list of like cheese dishes that you can try, and when you get 5 of them at the end, or the 6th one you get is like the 6th one is like a free treat. And it's basically a strawberry cheesecake soft serve, and everything was really good. I don't know if you guys saw my video already. And also I did try the pickle milkshake. It is not very pickly. It's not sour at all. It is actually very vanilla-y. They should have just named it like a dill shake milkshake, because that's basically what it is. But I see why they named it pickle milkshake. And also try the pickle fries. And pickle fries is gas.
Okay.
Like if you love pickles, like you would definitely love the pickle milkshake. I mean, not pickle milkshake, the fries. And we're going back today, going to Port Orleans French Quarter. They have this new thing. I don't know if you guys have in Disneyland, but it's called the Ghoulish Delight beignets. Yeah, it's basically like Haunted Mansion themed. I think instead of like powdered sugar, it's like cookies and cream powdered sugar with like marshmallow cream sauce, I think, something like that. But yeah, it looked really good, and it's gonna be up on Disney Hype Feast, and I'll let you know if gas or pass.
Well, I'd have to check because I know we're selling our beignets out of a different place because the Mint Julep is still closed, so they might have them. But
Damn, I want a mint julep now.
Yeah, so bomb.
well, it's nice seeing you out there creating content, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, Ruby, have you been in the parks other than just going to Club 33 all the time?
Okay. Well, that was the last time I was at the park. It was during the crazy hurricane of California. So that weekend we did the Toontown Market on Saturday, which was the day before this hurricane was coming. So was kind of like concerned, like, oh, is the weather going to be bad? It was totally fine. It was warm out. Toontown Market is awesome. Got to see a lot of the homies that day. Carl happened to stop by with somebody else that he knows, so just happened to randomly bump into him. Saw Zay, saw Jay, Dominique. I was in a booth next to Janelle, who was on the pod. I was also next to Main Street Muse Katie, who makes really dope ears by Felix, official park friend, Jersey friend. Manny was there. So like it was like a good squad of homies. Taylor Jackson, who does the Happiest Place tees, Rope Drop Threads, was there. So we were like, all our booths were in an area together. So on top of the market just being awesome and like a ton of Disney small shop vendors, like it was a solid crew of those of us who all knew each other. So that was really fun. Loved it. It was great to see people like actually interact with our products in person. Obviously our booth was representing mine and Luigi's brand Painted Park Provisions, but also we had the Kicks the Castle. So our little chalkboard, Luigi did some a Kicks at the Castle side and then a Painted Park Provision side. So it was just nice to also get to talk to people who maybe don't know about the podcast. And yeah, had a great time. We also linked up with, they used to be Blue Sky World, who did the little like sneaker stickers, the like Moana ones and the Tiana ones. She brought those by so that we could give those out to Kicks at the Castle people also, because they're not doing those stickers anymore. So that was cool. All around, that was a great day. Then Sunday, the hurricane came, or tropical storm as I like to call it. So we decided to brave it and go to Disneyland. And it was freaking awesome because there was literally no lines for anything. Space Mountain was like a 5-minute walk on. You could just gone on it like 50 times if you wanted to. But yeah, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it was like light rain. I wore my foam runners with socks and the like holes in
The
my
socks?
foam runner. Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
Makes no sense. They have holes so they can drain, you know? That's why you don't wear socks with it.
No, I don't want blisters everywhere and boat feet stinky. No, I'm wearing my socks. I'm sticking to socks. That's all you.
No,
can.
I'm with you, Ruby.
No, sorry.
As weird as it sounds, like it when it's raining, like unless it's like torrential downpour, like if it's like regular raining, like my socks do not get wet if I'm wearing foam.
Yeah. Or if
It's
they
weird.
get like a little bit wet, they dry because you have all the ventilation. So like there
Yeah.
was a point where like my socks got a little bit wet and then we were inside for a while. They were totally dry. By the time we got back to our car at the end of the night, Luigi was wearing sneakers and he didn't have like super rainproof ones. And he got in the car and like immediately had to take off his shoes and his wet socks. And he was like, aren't your socks like so wet? Don't you want to take them off? And I was like, they're actually not. They're completely dry. So fake news, Ken. Socks and foam are perfectly fine. But yeah, it was a great day. Went with Felix and Douglas Danger, Main Street News Katie and her husband, and then we met up with some other friends, Summer and her husband, and then Zay and Dominique. So we all went on Guardians together, which was fun. It's always good when you have like a big group on Guardians. So we had a whole front row, and then we did 1901 and we did Club 33, and it's just like an awesome freaking day. The park was dead. It felt like weird, and it really wasn't that wet. Like I don't like doing things in rain. I'm like an anti-rain person, but I feel like when you're with the right crew, you're just having a good time. I know people are like, you're insane, why are you there? It's a hurricane. And I was like, guys, it's literally raining. I don't know what's going on. And then apparently there was an earthquake, but we happened to be on Guardians when the earthquake happened. So it wasn't until I got off that I was like getting text messages like, oh my god, did you feel that? And I was like, I literally was flying out of the air, so I felt nothing. So I guess it was just perfect timing. I did get the burger at the Club 33 lounge because it's really good. Yeah, it was an all around good day. And I miss the parks and I can't wait to go back again.
That's
I
awesome.
can't wait to see you, John. I miss you.
No, it's been too long. Next weekend,
Yes.
we will. I think I'm going on Sunday because I have Oogie Boogie Bash.
You have double boogie bashes?
Of course, come on now. Talking to you. Of
You're
course, I'm going
wild.
twice.
You're wild.
I got to pre-run it. Make sure that
Okay.
we know everything's
That's
at.
good. Yeah, that's good. That way when I go with you, you can direct us accordingly.
So I did go to the parks last weekend. Met up with the homie Phil and Ashley and baby Ruby. We had lunch at the Alfresco dining at Carthay, and
Nice.
I broke out the Jordan 3 Palominos. Gave those a run. It was kind of a short day. I mean, I was pretty tired. We were actually planning on hanging out later, and we tapped out. It'd been we were pretty run down from our trip. I think we've been home for over a week, but we were just kind of tired. So it was just nice to be back in the parks. So about the trip. So we got in, I think we landed at like 4:30, something like that. And it's the first time I had tried the Walmart delivery. So when I was in Dallas, once I knew my plane was going to take off on time, I ordered from Walmart, and they delivered everything, all the water, sodas, snacks, delivered it to Bell Services.
Sorry, Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Peppers, you know it. had all that delivered, so it was super nice. I got there. I think that the delivery happened like 10 minutes after I got there, and what an amazing treat. We walked into the room and we looked and we're like, well, this isn't a Little Mermaid standard room. We had a Cars family suite, and what an awesome piece of magic to get upgraded, especially when you're on a trip with two women. To have two bathrooms was bonus for getting ready in the morning.
Yeah, that's
And
clutch.
yeah, and so we took advantage of the extra time, not having to go get provisions. Hopped on the Skyliner, went to Hollywood Studios, stood in line, guest services for like 2 minutes, got our annual passes activated, went in, had dinner at Mama whatever what's the place by Pizza Rizzo?
Oh, Mom Melrose.
Mama Melrose. Don't need to ever eat there again. It was food. They took us.
Damn.
They took us like 45 minutes after our reservation time, and I was like, how come I can get push notifications? If a ride's closed and I'm getting a multi-experience pass, why can't I get a push notification from the restaurant's running 30 minutes late?
Yeah.
Or maybe stop taking waitlist people. I don't know. I was a little torqued because I thought we would get a couple rides in. Literally had enough time to eat, walk to Midway Mania, and got in the queue before they closed it. Like it was.
What did you get? From
I
Mom
got.
Melrose?
I think I just got spaghetti and meatballs.
I heard their
Yeah.
steak is actually pretty good.
I did
I've
get a
been there,
Peroni, so I had the Italian beer. The Peroni was pretty good. The Peroni was the best part of my meal.
Oh, how was Pizza Rizzo?
Pizza Rizzo was, I mean, Amy liked it. I think Amy liked it better than I did. So yeah,
And you got the meat one, right? With sausage
Yeah.
and pepperoni? Okay.
I got the meat.
Yeah,
one.
see, when I tried, I only got cheese.
That pepperoni, because they like fry that pepperoni up. It is so good. It's like crispy. That legit.
Mm.
That's good pizza. People rag on Rizzo's for some reason, but that's good pizza.
Oh,
I'm
no.
just comparing it to
know.
Vietnam. Like I would rather go back to Vietnapoli than Pizza Rizzo, but I'm not saying I wouldn't eat Pizza Rizzo again. They're just two different things. They're two completely different things. So, but no, it was just awesome to get to do something the day. That's the first time I've ever done that. All day flying and then actually being in the park at the end of the day. That was pretty cool. I really enjoyed doing that. So shout out to Walmart for their delivery because that was pretty great. Like I said, and as dumb as it sounds, the last 3 times I've flown out there, I've actually like Ubered to Walmart, done shopping, and then Ubered back, and then tried to carry all the crap. So it was just nice not doing it. I won't hit all the details. But so day 2, we did the mild Africa trek. I know they call it wild, but it's kind of mild. It was totally worth doing, but it was really hot that day. And, the heat didn't really bother us any day other than that one. And I think it's because there was such an extended period without us going into the air conditioning. It kind of snuck up on us. I mean, obviously there's plenty of places to drink, but the wild Africa trek was super fun. Would totally recommend it. I would do the Savor the Savannah next time. I think it's a shorter version. The Wild Africa Tech's 3 hours. The Savor the Savannah is basically the same thing, but you don't have to wear the harness because you don't walk over the rope bridge, and you get more time actually in the Savannah at the dining spot, and it's got booze. So if anybody's going out there, they want to do the rope bridges. I mean, it's fun. It's worth doing. But like I said, the Savor the Savannah I think is $5 cheaper. It's like an hour less, but it's got some alcohol involved, and like I said, a little more chill. We followed that up. I wore the Jordan 3M Lens Stinks that day in the park, because what else are you gonna do? The next day we had Mickey's Not So Scary at Magic Kingdom, so we spent the whole day there from really early to really late. I feel like we got back to our room at like 1:15. So it was a day. I wore the Halloween dunks. So what the highlights were, let's see, I think we had lunch at the Plaza Inn, and I had the special, which was like a pot roast. It was really good. We had dinner at Jungle Skipper, and honestly, I thought that was pretty clutch because I scheduled it right before the party, so we had an hour of downtime to rest and eat, and that way when we got out, it was full blown Halloween party mode. I will say that the Halloween party merch was like Black Friday, man. When you had to get your wristband for the party, and then you could go into the Emporium, and man, it was
Did they make you go back to the front to get the wristbands?
No, we got our wristband over by Stitch's Great Escape. The Mickey's Not So Scary is such a good time, but it is a completely different vibe. Like, we watched the parade both times, did the stage show, watched the fireworks. We really tried to hit, we hit the Seven Dwarfs photo op. We hit Mickey on Main Street. We did a bunch of the tree trails, and my daughter kept saying, "Oh, there's another one over here. There's no one." I'm like, who cares? It's just cast members handing out candy. It's not Oogie Boogie Bash, you know, where every tree trail is its own experience. So totally glad we did it. I didn't get to do any of the rides except for Haunted Mansion because, well, Haunted Mansion has the ghost actors, and we did get the photo pass thing with the, you know, with the what is it, the lantern. But it was a good time. I really enjoyed the party. It did not feel like Halloween because it was so early, but had a great time. Next day was Epcot, and that was Space 220 for lunch and Rosencrown for dinner. So we ate well. We ate well, and then like I said, like Matt said, all the homies met up with us. Kind of. I had to get the what is it, the croque glace in France. The
oh, yep.
so that's
the pressed bread.
That is
thing,
dude. Yeah, that has
What
the.
is it?
So it's you can get like any whatever flavor ice cream that they have, and you get the scoop of ice cream is pressed in a brioche bun.
Yeah,
Ooh.
And you could put like
It's-
chocolate or raspberry or caramel sauce on it. It
Yeah.
is gas.
it is so good.
Dang.
Yeah.
So I hit one of
Hypebeast
those.
video on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. No, it was really good. It was just really fun walking and talking. Like I said, we didn't have any. Actually, I met Griff earlier in the day. I think I rode Guardians with Big Griff,
All right. Yeah.
and I think we broke off because of lunch. I think that's what we did. I think that's what happened. See, that was 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember. But no, it was awesome for everybody to come out. We had a really good time. I think I unDS'd the Black Toe Lows that day. Studios was a let's see, I think I wore the Tokyo 96s to studio. We got everything done really early, and it felt really hot that day too. And at dinner time, we had Brown Derby, and I will give shout out to our server. I don't remember her name. And actually, I made it a point every day to get on my phone and do cast compliments because it's now in the app. I did a couple a day if I ever got really good service, but I actually went to the manager and said what a great server I had, and she asked if I would fill out she gave me a piece of paper, and I actually filled out a compliment for her.
Nice.
So we had a fantastic dinner at Brown Derby. I love that place, and I had paid for the Phantasmic dining package, and we tapped out.
Bruh.
We did not stay for Phantasmic, so this is 2 trips in a row that I did not do Phantasmic, and I was pretty much the only thing I wanted to do in the park both times. So I still have not seen Phantasmic at Disney World. We ended up going back to the room, changing, and we went to the Poly, and we did a little shopping, and then we sat on the Tangaroa Terrace and watched the fireworks. Had a drink, watched dude play his ukulele and eat Dole Whip. So that wasn't a bad ending of the evening. And then last day was at MK, and I'm not a fan. I think I've mentioned that I'm not a super big fan of Be Our Guest, but my daughter wanted to go, so went to Be Our Guest again. We ate in what's the dining room on the right? Is that the garden? Ken, what is that? The garden room? There's not the West Wing, not the
Yeah.
main.
I've only sat in the middle. I don't know. I have
East
no idea
wing.
what the
Oh,
East-
the
East
middle's
makes
the
sense.
I
middle-
don't know.
The middle's the worst. The middle
is.
The middle is like being in a cafeteria.
It is.
Yeah.
So they had just started seating people in the side room, and so it was super quiet in there. It was really chill. I actually had a great dining experience. It was probably my favorite time I've eaten at Be Our Guest. And I've probably been in there like 4 or 5 times. So it was really good. Like I said, I wanted to try some place that I'd never been before that day. And when your daughter says, "Hey, I really want to eat there," then that's what you do. I met up with Ken after becoming a Galactic Hero, and we got to chit chat for a little while, which was great. I got the loved ones and put them straight on my feet. And after I talked to Ken, I went into the Carousel Progress and I took them off my feet, and I did the lace swap. I will say I had some great experiences with some cast members. I did also have the worst one I've ever had. I was on the Halloween party day. I went up, they were setting up the photo ops early, and there was a photo pass photographer, and I didn't know if they were letting people do pictures yet or if they waiting for the party to start. And so I said, "Hey, are you open for business?" And the lady looked at me and she said, "I wouldn't be standing here if I wasn't." I'm like, oh, well.
Dang, what a sweetheart.
And that was just the beginning too.
Like, you
Already-
couldn't have
already
just said
found out.
yes. I mean, you couldn't have just said yes. Yeah, yes, I am. No, smart ass. So anyway, I had a fantastic trip. Already looking forward to the next one. I feels like Ruby might be there the next time I go. I've been seeing a lot of texts from her.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
we didn't hear in pickups, but did you pick up an annual pass in pickups?
I am doing a cost analysis on it to see if it's worth it just to buy the tickets and not the pass, or to get the pass. So I'm just trying to figure that part out, because I'll probably be going, well, I'm definitely going in September for Grace Hopper. So I want to try to hit the park after the conference, because why not? Luigi's not going to be there, so I'm going to just want to go to the park so I don't feel lonely and sad in my hotel. And then when we go in
All about mental health.
when we go in January or end of December, January, we'll probably go for the few days. So I don't know if it's worth the full price of the pass. I might be able to get it cheaper because I won't go again probably after that. So those will be my two opportunities to maximize the cost of it. So
It'll be close. It'll be close.
pretty close. Yeah. And it's right now when I'm looking at it, it's pretty close. And then I'm doing like my girl math. So I'm like, and then if I buy merchandise, then I get a
Well,
discount, and like food.
Ruby,
So that and
that's
parking.
I was just gonna say that, you know, you can't discount, you know, how much money I saved, because, you know, I was there with my wife and my daughter and they bought a ton of stuff. I will say that the food discount is not as good as it is in
Yeah.
because I think it's 5% less and you only get it at table serve. You don't get it at any of the quick serve. So it's
Yeah.
not quite. Although I will say I closed out my Inspire key. I took my last trip last weekend for the 22-23 season.
Yep.
And I ended up with a cost per visit of $41.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's 39. That was 39 trips on a $15.99 Magic Key.
Yeah, that's worth it.
What's funny is last year my cost per visit was $31. Now the Magic Key was $200 cheaper,
Yeah.
but I also went 6 more times the year that I was at Disney World for 37 days. I don't know how I got 6 more visits in.
Slacker this year.
Rookie
So
numbers.
Anyway, I'm making it pay. So yeah, when I go for Oogie Boogie Bash, that'll be my first trip on my new Magic Key. So
Nice.
it was a good year. So anyway, Ruby, do you have a plant-based option of the week for us?
Okay, everyone. Sean is about to enjoy the plant-based option of the week. See? Yeah, right.
And speaking of my man Irv, he texted me this weekend. So Irv is alive. I can report.
That's good.
I'm happy to hear that. Well, speaking of herb, this new plant-based option that came out on the 29th, so I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but I'm very stoked to, is in DCA near Hollywood Lounge. So it is a sope, which is like those like corn, they're like small corn, kind of like a very thick tortilla-ish. I would say more like maybe a pupusa thickness. But so it's like corn, and they usually put some refried beans on it with meat. So this is a sope de chorizo and papas, and it's supposed to have a soy rizo one. So that looks really good. It's also got nopales on it, and I love nopales. And for anyone who's like plant-based, not just for like the meat aspect, nopales are actually like one of the most sustainable foods on the earth, because they grow very rapidly, and they can like grow in very harsh environment, and they don't need like any water or anything, and they're very good, and they're good for you. So I'm super excited because I love chorizo with potatoes, is like one of my favorite like Mexican breakfasts. So to put that on a little sope, and then you add the cactus to it, I'm just like, I can already tell I'm gonna love this. They're a little handheld, you just bite them, delicious. I can't wait. They also did add a soy rizo or plant-based chorizo quesadilla, which I'm also excited about, because I don't get to have quesadillas very often because they're so cheese heavy that I'll just like die. But like a plant-based quesadilla, I'm there all day. Sign me up. So I will be trying both of those probably the next time there.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So I know we're going long, but I wanted to ask the crew a question for as far as DMs. Because I was so thrilled with some of the service I had, and obviously the upgraded room I got. I wanted to know, what's the most magical thing a cast member's done for you on one of your trips?
I mean, I have one, and it's very similar to yours. But it was during COVID times, and this was before the parks had reopened. So Springs was the only thing that was open in some of the resorts. We went and stayed at Saratoga Springs, and we booked a studio or something like that. And we got there and they upgraded us to a 2-bedroom villa because nobody was staying there. I mean, there was absolutely nobody there. It was like a ghost town. And they upgraded us to a 2-bedroom for the price of a studio. And it was amazing. Like, it was right out front, balcony view. You could see all of Springs. So it was like directly facing Springs. And again, like, everything was empty. Springs was empty. The resort was empty. It was just like a surreal, insane.
Isn't that the thing with the rooms? Like, not only is it a bigger room, but the bigger rooms are in the better spots, right? If you're paying money for a suite, you're not at the far end of everything, right?
Right. Yeah. And it was great view. And then you could just, like, from our area, you could just kind of go down and walk directly to Springs. We're towards the, I guess, left side looking towards Springs, and it's directly connected to it. So you didn't have to make like a long walk or anything. So it was awesome. That was probably the most magical thing I can think of that they've done. Generally not too much in the parks, but that was pretty awesome.
What about you, Matt?
Disneyland, I mean, every day is just magical there. But Disney World, one time at Studios, it was like me, a few of my friends, and Emily. And our plan was to get in. This was when Rise still had virtual queue, and we're gonna do the 1 p.m. Virtual queue. And we literally got in at like 12:59, and Emily was having like issues with her annual pass. And then I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna book it for, or reserve the virtual queue for well, I was like, I mean, there's something that guest relations could possibly do or whatever, add her. So we got in, so like right at 1, I made it for me and my friends that were already in. And then after that, we had to go to guest relations because someone was wrong with their pass. Apparently there's like a payment issue, but then like we like double checked everything. Like, I got the payment. It was like, I showed them the payment. I forgot what they did, but like, we would have been happy with just re-adding her back to our virtual queue, but they added her to our virtual queue, and they gave us like all of us like 3 experience passes or multi-experience passes. So it was a good day at Hollywood Studios that day, even though awesome. Like we would have been perfectly fine with just adding her just to the virtual queue, but yeah, a little extra, and I thought that was pretty magical for that day.
Nice. How about you, Ruby?
Well, I would say probably the like thing that just stands out to me is last year I was doing the Main Street Story tour on my birthday, and we had some issues with our dog and the sitter, and it was just like a whole fiasco. And so we were driving over to the park, and I knew we were going to be late for the tour, and they basically tell you kind of like, if you're late, you're kind of SOL, and had like tried to chat with them before, like, hey, is there any way we can get moved to the next one? And they were like, we can't do it over the chat, but like when you get there, talk to someone, and if the next one's open, like they'll probably work with you. And I was just like so frustrated and bummed, and this was like my birthday trip, and I was just so irritated. I was upset with my dog, so I was like, why are you doing this? You're being bad. It was just a whole mess. And then when we got there, the cast member that was there was just like the sweetest. He was so nice. He was like, don't stress, like we're gonna put you on the next one, and actually it's only you 2 on the next one, so it's like a private tour. And then he like made me like a thing that was all like, he's like, well, now you have all this extra time, I'm gonna make you like a little passing. And he like sat there and like hot glue bedazzled it. And so then by the time it was like time for our tour, I had like a special like bedazzled one, and I just thought like that was really nice. He could tell that I was like kind of stressed out once I got up to the window, like, hey, I don't know if this is possible, like explaining it. And I'm one of those people, like, I hate feeling like I'm inconveniencing someone. So just the fact that I was like, hey, I had like a mess up on my end, is there any way you can help me? Like, that's just my nightmare situation. I hate asking people for just to like, I feel annoying, right? So I just was like, oh, this is the worst feeling. And I was bummed because it's my birthday, but he was just like so nice. And it like totally made sure that the rest of my trip was just like started out on the way that I was hoping, instead of like how it kind of was going at that moment. So that really stood out to me. And I feel like that's the Disney magic stuff that you hear, where you're just like, people there just want people to be happy and be glad they're there.
Nice. Like I say, I remember, I think my kids were, I don't know, in that 6, 7, 8 range. We had lunch at the Carnation Cafe, and we got done eating, and a couple cast members walk over with a huge sundae, and they're like, oh, we didn't order that. Oh no, we just felt like you guys looked like you needed one. And they brought down this gigantic sundae with 4 spoons. And my son still talks, remember that time that you brought us this big sundae? And I mean, it's probably 15 years ago. And I think we finished it. They gave us like a certificate for finishing it. It was kind of funny. That was like a totally unexpected thing. I like I said, 15 years ago, I still remember it. So that made an impression on the family. And like I said, sometimes something as small as a sundae, really does make your day. And I mean, what? I mean, that's the difference between going to Disneyland and whatever that other park is that Ken goes to. Is
You don't even know if they would ever do something like that there. You've never even been.
it's the cast members that make.
Matt, what's the most magical moment at Universal, Ken?
Oh shit.
Ooh, I actually have one. It wasn't with a like someone that worked there, but
Save it
last
for your other
year on my
podcast.
birthday at Universal, like as soon as we walked in, like we went in there pretty late, and then some dude looked at me and Emily and was just like, "You guys look like you guys need express passes," and I was like, "We sure do," and he gave us 2 unlimited express passes. We
What?
literally did everything.
Love it. See, look at that magic. Magic can exist in more than one place. In Ruby's world, magic can exist everywhere.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this week. I want to thank everybody for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review for us. Check out the YouTube. Definitely join us in the Discord. It's been a little quiet lately. It feels like there was a massive flurry when Matt put the rankings in, and so it's kind of mellowed out now. But
I don't know. They need to prep all their content for Dads at the Castle podcast.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
the mutiny is
When does that
afoot.
happen?
So
Yeah, I saw something about that. Yeah, you guys, bring it on. I'll subscribe. So we are
you'll
Kicks
be
at
a
the
guest.
There you go. So we are Kicks at the Castle. You can follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to tag us and use the hashtag Kicks at the Castle in your Disney Fit Pics, in park or not. Ken, how can the listeners connect with you?
Yeah. Instagram, a world united, united.world. Also, if you want to check out the website, closed right now for moving, but we'll be open in a few weeks. Also, I'm on Discord, so see me there.
There you go. All right. Well, my name's John. You can find me on Instagram at Weekends with Walt. Ruby, how can listeners find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Rubes, ROOBS.
And Matt, how can listeners hit you up?
You can find me on the Disney Hype Beast and also the Disney Hype Feast if you're hungry.
Nice.
Always hungry.
Always.
All right. Well, we are Kicks at the Castle. This was season 7, episode 1, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Let's take a ride. I'll show you how. I'll show you how. I'll show you how. I'll show you how. We're gonna make it happen.